there, it's Erin with Quilting Rebel and also Quilters Retreat online membership club. If you don't know more, check out the link below and I'll tell you all about it. Now today we are going to tour around my quilting studio, and that way you can see all these fabulous products that I have and use and see what might work for you in your own studio. I absolutely am in love with my studio. You know, they could always be bigger, but it's pretty good size for me. So this is actually a 14 by 14 room, and I'll give you just a little bit of a quick tour, and then we'll go into each item a little more in depth. So behind me, you can see we have an IKEA system, and this is a Kallax unit, and I absolutely love it. Now I have a really big set of windows. You kind of see my sewing machine right here, but we live on the lake and it's fabulous. So let's go this way. You can see a little bit more of the Kallax units. I've got 2 of them set up. My desk is here. And then I have also from IKEA, I believe it's Skadis. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's a really cool pegboard. So now let's go back the other way and pan through those windows. They do get really bright in the afternoon. But here we have the Dream Box by Create Room. And guys, if you have not seen this, this thing is fabulous. It holds so much product in here. I could just give you a little peek. It unfolds and unfolds, and it has tables, and it has bins. Look at that. How fabulous. I haven't even got it all filled up. It holds so much stuff. So we will get into that in just a little bit. I have a fabulous Nellie the cow. Quincy got me this, and she has one hanging in her own studio. This is my cutting table. It actually expands out to be more than almost double that size, not quite. And it has a little ironing board attached, which I love. Then we have my design wall, which I am also just mad crazy about. I got this on Amazon, so I will link it below. And the last 2 years, they've had a sale on Black Friday. They also have sales throughout the year from time to time, but I got it on Black Friday, I think 2 years ago. I absolutely love it. It's sturdy board and you can pin to it, so I think that that is an extra plus. You can see I've got a Quiltworks Studios table runner that I just did. I believe it's called Cactus Flower. So really difficult, but a lot of fun. Turned out really pretty. So next we have the Dream Cart, and this is just a little decorative piece up here that I put fun little things on. The Dream Cart I will also show you. That is also from Create Room, which is the same as the Dream Box that I just gave you a peek at. So it is super fabulous. Now let me move you over here real quick. And that way you can get the other view. That ceiling fan is gonna go one of these days. This is my sew station, and this is by Create Room as well. I love this. I love it so much that Quincy even got one, and it's just wonderful. This whole backside flips up so that you can you have room for your quilt to lay, and it's just really great. So we will get a more in-depth look on that. And then you can kind of see the Kallax units a little bit better here. This tray is fabulous. This is, whoops, sorry. This tray right here is fabulous. I got it at JoAnn's? No, I believe it was Michael's. I think that was from Michael's. Of course, we have up here on the very top, we have a speaker for listening to podcasts and a Scentsy warmer and a fun little picture. This is my desk. This is where I spend way too much time. I need to spend more time over here, but instead I'm spending a lot of time here. So, but that's okay because I love what I do. All right, so let's dive into it. We're gonna go into the sew station first. Okay, I'm going to try to hold the camera as steady as I can, but this is the sew station all folded out. So these are the side table and the main table that comes with it. It's attached, has the little leg. They have adjusters on the bottom so that you can adjust them up or down, especially if your floor is uneven like mine. And it's just great. So both of these can fold down, of course, and then it's much smaller, but it still has a very clean look on the outside. That's just great. Now, if you're interested, this is a tailor's clapper that I got off of Amazon, and I will link it as well. This is a Martelli rotating cutting mat. This thing is wonderful. So you have the cutting mat, or you can have an ironing table too, and it's great for the side of your machine. Works awesome. Now, just a quick note, I would recommend if you're going to be ironing, you take off the cutting mat just so it doesn't work. Anyway, this is the sew station from the other side. I have a very large machine. I have a Bernina 780, so it is quite heavy. Now, what is awesome about the sew station is it does have hydraulics, so you can raise and lower at the push of a button your machine, so you can get it to exactly the height you want. Now, what comes with your machine as well, you can order one of these inserts to go with it, and I'm pretty sure that is included in the price. And that is fabulous because it fits my exact machine, makes it so I can sew nice and level with the table, and it's just wonderful. Now, if you go down here below, now you see a whole lot of wires, and my husband just cleaned all that up for me so they're not all over the floor, which is amazing. But we have lots of storage. Now, to accommodate, I have extra power needs. You might not have this much power needs. We had to move this shelf up, so we lost one of our bins, but that's fine because I have so much storage going on here. So you have these nice bins or these nice shelves. Now, I will say the newer models, they flipped. I'm going to show you this pull out over here. They have flipped these because I think you bang your knees on these quite often. Whoops, I pulled that shelf out. And so that's kind of a detriment, but that is new now. So if you go over here, we can pull this out, and this is just wonderful. So you can have all your thread here. At the bottom, you can have larger cones of thread or boxes. And then on the top, it comes with these two little compartments that you can put things in, and it's just fabulous. Like I said, this is flipped. It's going to be on the other side, which is very nice. Now, I can't, because of all my cords and electrical needs here, I can't pull this out for you, but this is a door that folds up. And what it does is it comes around here and encloses the whole thing. So your machine can go down. You have an insert that goes on top of your machine that is white that matches your top. And that way the whole thing just looks like this nice, neat little table. So especially if you have your sewing space is in a living room or a bedroom, you can button it up all nice and tight and it looks all pretty and you can decorate it, and then when you're ready to sew, you can get it back out. Let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Like I said, we have extra power there, but I can't think of anything else. I mean, I just really love it. And that machine is so heavy. So any machine you're going to put on there is going to work just fine. The hydraulics handle it perfectly, no problems. So that is it. That is a sew station by Create Room. I love it. Quincy has one and she loves it. I don't know what I would do without it. Okay, let's talk about the IKEA Kallax units. These are cube storage that are fabulous. I absolutely love these. These are an amazing way to have an incredible amount of storage in a small space. So these I got about 3 years ago, actually longer, 4 or 5 years ago, in case the sizing has changed any, but I don't think it has. So mine takes up about 17 inches on the floor. So that's not a lot of real estate to take, especially out of a small space. If you have a really small room that you're working with, and you get so much. So this one is a 4x4. So it has 4 spaces, 4 up and 4 across. So it's called a 4x4. And what I did is they have these really inexpensive cubes that you can buy, and you can see this one is almost empty. They're huge. They're very, very large. They fit right in here, so you can, and they have a wide variety of colors, so you can buy whatever it is that you want and need, and then you can store things in here. Now, these are an extra purchase right here. These are doors, and so you can open these up, and you can see that that one is empty. This one is my Alexander Henry stash because I love Gasly's Alexander Henry. This is actually all Gasly's. They just crack me up. Let's see here. If you don't know what Gasly's are, I will just show you really quick. It is these fun little people who always look angry, but they are just hysterical. Like, they just make me so happy. So I have all those stored right in there. Now at the bottom, I've got a 4x4, and then I have a 5x5 next to each other, which I'll show you in just a second. So all along the bottom, you can see I have these cubes. They go all the way across, so I have 9. And what I have done is this is where all of my scraps go. So I took see, again, guys, these are huge. So what I did is I took a foam board and just kind of cut it in half because I didn't need the whole thing for just one color. And then what it is I have 2 different colors of scraps in here. So there's red and there's black in this particular box. And so all of these boxes are split into 2. So you could do even more if you wanted. I am getting an awful lot of scraps though built up. Now the reason too that I kind of like doing the 5 and the 4, you can see there's a little bit of a height difference. Is one, I just wanted a little bit more interest when I was doing my studio, and the other thing that really kind of happened was I've got a great place to put my bolts. They're on display. I can see what I've got exactly at all times, and I can just grab it. And then could we just celebrate these adorable little Halloween, oh my gosh, Christmas decorations that I found at Hobby Lobby. Super, super cute. In the back here, I have one of those little boards with the slats that holds some of my larger rulers. So I like to keep those there. I just love that car so much. I think it is so cute. Now let's travel over here. Let me just move you just a little bit. So we are going to look at the 5x5. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I got it right. Now here is another option that you can get. So we had the doors here, right? Well, you can also get drawer inserts. And again, those are an extra and they fit in there. They're really different how they work, but they work fabulous when you get them in there. So I have these drawers full of just all kinds of stuff. And they are just great. In fact, I was just looking for my extra clips, so I'm glad I found those. So again, there's 2 on each, and so I have 5 all the way across. So that means I have 10 little drawers to keep all of my things in. So I just love these Kallax units. They're great for displaying fabric. I've used comic boards up here. I've got fat quarters, bundles, layer cakes over there. I've got some more trees sprinkled in to decorate. Just love it. And again, this pink light up there, that is a warmer from Scentsy, and you put wax in it to let them melt. And I really like having that. I usually just use like 1/4 or half the amount of wax because I don't like it super strong. But it's a nice addition to the studio to have like some pleasant smells in there while you're sewing. And of course, the speaker for listening to podcasts or whatever while I am sewing. So that is IKEA Kallax. And next, we're going to show you the pegboard from IKEA. Hey, next up is IKEA, and I'll have to look up the name of this again. I believe it's Skadis, Skadis or Skadis. I don't know how you say it. Of course, it's Scandinavian. I'm not Scandinavian. But I would like to neaten this up just a little bit more. It's a little bit messy right now because I just kind of keep throwing stuff up there. But it is amazing for holding rulers, or you can see up here in the upper corner, I have some embroidery hoops and just a little bit of decorations down below. I have some more rulers, of course. And I've got a little quilt on display just kind of for fun. Another thing that's really cool about these is they come with special accessories. Like right here, we have something where you can hold, they're just like just like holders, like, I don't want to say cup holders, they're not for drinks, but you can see I've got scissors and pins and whatnot in there. The other thing up here is these are actually little drawers. They slide out. Let me show you. So you can actually set something on top of them, or then they just kind of slide out and you can get whatever you need out of them. So those are really neat. Do you like my skull? I made that a couple of years ago and just didn't know what to do with it. I just wanted to try it out on my embroidery machine. So that is my pegboard. Now, something important to know about this pegboard is that it is specific. So I don't know if I can zoom in, but do you see how those holes are oblong? So you can only use their brand of things to go in there, the hooks and whatnot. So that is just something to keep in mind if you decide to get it. Okay, that is the pegboard. Okay, next up is the Dream Cart. This is from Create Room. So this is from the same makers as the sew station that I showed you with my sewing machine. Now, forgive me, I am always in either t-shirts, sweatshirts, and leggings in my studio. So you'll just have to go with the vibe for now. So let's get to the Dream Cart. This is amazing. So this little guy has storage on both sides. So you can see storage over here, and these are bigger. These are big flat ones. So these are great for holding projects that you have in process, excuse me. Then the other side has the same bins that we saw in the sew station, which are these like shoebox size. And you have 8 of them on that side, and you have 5 of the others on the other side. Now, what is so great about this is you can see that we have 2 tables. So we have one on this side and one on the other side. So I want to show you what that looks like and how it works with your sew station. So hang on just a minute. Okay, check it out. Look at this. This thing is huge when you unfold it, but it takes up such a small amount of space when it is not folded up. So here you can see all of the storage that we have underneath it. But the great thing is the Dream Cart is pretty much the same size or height as the sew station. So you can roll it right over and increase your work area. So this is what I do quite frequently. I don't usually have this one folded out very often, but definitely I will do this. So let me just show you what that looks like. So this is what I do quite often. I will just wheel this over, set it right up, and then when I am quilting, I have a way bigger space to kind of handle those larger quilts or tops or whatever you're working with. And so I just love the Dream Cart with the sew station. I think it's amazing. Okay, now we're going to talk about this little tray cart that I got at Michael's. So it has 6 trays, it's on wheels, and I think it's amazing. So I think that they actually meant for this to be for scrapbooking, but I'm finding on kind of complicated quilts or quilts where there's just a lot of pieces, a lot of labeling, I find that it's quite handy. So let me just grab this. Sorry. So I am working on this Thimble Blossoms Christmas quilt, and you can see it's got a lot of different sections. We have trees, lights, candy canes, gifts, stockings, houses. So when I'm cutting all this out, I am cutting it out, and like here is lights and house, trees. So I can keep it all separated, and I can either just wheel this right over. So I've got it right here next to my sew station. So I can just wheel it right over to me. I'm not taking up a bunch of space on my sew station where I want to either cut or iron. And it just keeps everything super organized. Now, what I was doing before was I was using one of the large trays out of the dream cart. Whoops, I got my dream cart flipped around. So I was using one of the large trays, and like I would just take this whole tray, which works perfectly fine as well. But I was just taking it to my table and working out of it. And that worked great. I mean, it really did. It worked great. But this works so much better. Especially, like I said, for these more complicated quilts, or where, I wouldn't even say complicated. It's just, there's just a lot of pieces, you know. And so now I can just keep them all separate. When I'm ready to work on the lights, I just pull the lights tray out, or I put it on top, wheel it over to me, and then I can work right off of it. Guys, I love, love, love this tray. It's a little bit pricey, I think, so you definitely want to catch it when it's, I think they usually have half off on that kind of thing, so definitely watch for that at Michael's, and I think it's We Are Memory Makers, but I will put a link down below for you, and get you one if you have the space. I love this thing. Okay, let's talk about one of my favorite things in the studio, and that is my design wall, because I wasn't sure about it. You know, I was kind of taking a chance. It was a little bit more pricey than some other design walls. There's definitely DIYs out there where you can make it on your own, but I liked just being able to do it all myself, not having to get the husband involved. It was kind of nice. So this is great. So this comes in panels. I have 2 sets. Got this on Amazon. I believe it's BXI is what it's called. I will definitely link it in the comments, or in the description, sorry. It's about a 1/2 inch thick, and I forget the measurements on it, but I will post it. So they come in sets of 4, so I got 2. If you're wondering how I determined the height off the floor, that is, I went to our tallest dog at the time, who they shed like crazy. They're Labradors. He's since passed, and our Labrador now is a little bit shorter, but I actually put it up so it would be just above his back so that he would not walk in and get hair all over my design wall, because it holds stuff amazing. So this one is actually covered with fleece, and I was a little nervous about fleece to see how it would work, and it works awesome. And the other reason that I really, really love this is you can pin to it. So it's really great to just be able to use your pins to either hold heavier things, but I can put a whole top on there and it will pretty much hold. Sometimes I just throw a pin or 2 in it just to be sure, especially because we have an air vent right up here, so when it comes on, it could, like, if you get a corner started, the whole thing peels off. But I have absolutely 0 regrets about this design wall. Now, an extra added expense you will have when you buy this is you do need command strips, and you need a few. I put 3 on each panel. So I put, on this panel, so I put 1, 2 on the top, and then 1 on the bottom. Sorry, my finger's backwards. So I put 3 on there, and I have not had 1 issue in 2 years. They've not fallen down. The only other, like, kind of a pain about them was to get them up and get them level. That was the only kind of issue getting started. Like, once you got 2 on there, you were pretty good. So if you kind of want a level, or some way you could tape it off, like use painter's tape. I did that, I think. and then stand back and look at it and make sure it's level before, because you don't want to get the whole thing up there and then it's crooked. But those command strips, they're kind of pricey. I want to say I had to spend $25 just on command strips. So, but I absolutely zero regrets on this. They have a little bit smaller size, and I actually thought about buying them and a step stool and putting another row up top, just because on really big quilts that you want to lay out, it doesn't hold it all, but it holds most everything. So I love it. I highly recommend it. Next up is my cutting table. Okay, this is my cutting table, and it is from Arrow. I got it a few years ago. They actually don't have this model anymore, but I do love it. They are quite pricey. I think the original price on this was like $6.99, $5.99, $6.99, which, to be honest, guys, I would never pay. I got it on Black Friday. I think I got it for around the $200 range, but they also have them on Amazon and that are off-brand, and they are fabulous too. So I do think that Arrow does have a really high quality product. They have locking wheels, and so that's nice. So when this is completely folded out, which I don't have it like this too often, it's huge. It's a huge amount of space. Plus, I'm a tall girl, so it is a taller table. And even if you're not tall, that will definitely save your back when you're doing a lot of cutting. So this is my, I think it's 30, what is this? 24 by 30, yeah, 24 by 36 mat. So it basically fits, it overlaps just a little bit, you can see. So this table is quite large. So I will show you now how it looks where I'm using it most of the time. And it does have an ironing board on one end. And actually, I kind of love that. So now let me show you how I use it. Okay, this is how it looks 95% of the time. This is how I use it. And I just really love it. So I've got a great big cutting area, and I've got room on the back where I can store some other things if I need to. I keep water and my spray bottle, keep a magnetic dish, pin dish, so I can pin things to my design wall that's right here. And I have this great little ironing table for my Oliso, and I did cover this. I forget what it was, but I just grabbed some fabric and covered it to make it more my colors, I guess. And so this is just fabulous. I have this amazing light, which I cannot remember the brand, but I will link it if I can find it. It's super bright, and I love it. It's great to have extra lighting in your space. This is wonderful for nighttime because, again, I do not have great lighting in here. So this is my Arrow table. Now, most of the ones now have some sort of, instead of an ironing table, they have storage. So they will have places underneath this main part that you can store things, like little drawers and whatnot. So that is my cutting table. I love it. Highly recommend getting one. Love the height. Again, that is a game changer when you are cutting out all day on one of those quilts. If you happen to be wondering what this adorable little kind of Halloween kitty is here on my design wall, this was one of our special projects in Quilters Retreat. So that is something that my daughter Quincy and I, it's an online membership club, we designed and built. We are having a fabulous time in there. So if you want to be a part of a great quilting group online, definitely check us out. This was, I believe, October's project. So we have 2 big sew-alongs per year. So when we're not having a sew-along, we'll just have special projects during the month that you can participate in if you would like. And this one, it was a skill builder for foundation paper piecing. A lot of people hadn't ever done it before, so it was a great way to give it a try and have something kind of spooky for Halloween. So please check out the link below. We're gonna have a big Black Friday sale. If it's after Black Friday, keep an eye out because we have specials all the time, but we would love to have you join and give us a try, and I think that you would have a lot of fun. I wanted to talk a minute about Quilter's Retreat. So this little black cat, he was a special project that we did to learn foundation paper piecing. So all of us kind of gave it a try. We gave each other tips and tricks on how to do it, and it was a lot of fun. So Quilter's Retreat is not an in-person retreat, but what it is an online quilting community group. And we have lots of fun things that we do. And you can join in as little or as much as you want. So just a few things that we do is we have 2 sew-alongs per year, and your pattern is actually included in your price. So twice a year, you will get a pattern either mailed or emailed to you, and then you can choose to sew along with us if you'd like, and it's really, really fun. When we're not having a sew along those 2 times per year, they last about 2 months each. Then we just kind of have special projects like this. We kind of find a project and we try to use something to build our skills. For instance, this one was paper piecing. So everybody got to try that out if they hadn't done it already, or we were just some of us were getting ready for October if we'd done it before. And I love this little cat. He's really, really cute. November, we did bowl cozies, so that was fun. So now everybody's got some bowl cozies to use, or they've learned how to make them to give as gifts. Now, a couple of other things that we have a block of the month club that you can join if you like. We have discounted pre-buys, which is really popular. So you can buy products below retail. We offer about 10 to 15 products every month that you can choose to buy. And we have a UFO club. Now that is something else that is really, really popular. So every 2 months you can sign up, you can pull a UFO out of your closet to get done. And if you complete it in that 2 months, you get entered for a prize drawing. So there's lots of other things. I'm not going to run down all of them for you. Check out the link below and see if you'd like to join. If you happen to be here around Black Friday, then be sure and check out our Black Friday deal. But about once a month, we have a special deal, but you can always, you can join at any time. So please check us out. Come over with Quincy and I and have fun. We're a mother-daughter team that just love quilting, and we do it full time. She's actually a long arm quilter, and if you're a member in Quilter's Retreat, you get a discount on your long arm services. What could be better? So come on over and join us. And now let's go check out the rest of my studio. Is ready to see the dream box because it is amazing. Ta-da! Here it is. So let's open it up for you so you can see. Ta-da! Look at all that space. Is that not crazy? It's crazy. Okay, now you're probably wondering what's going on in the middle over here. So let me show you. This is a great table that you can have in 2 sizes. Okay, and y'all have to forgive me. I have my dorky ankle socks on, so you just have to pretend like I have cool socks on, okay? So this pulls up just like this, and you can even pin it over here if you're needing to have both of your hands to get out whatever you need. So I have my serger down here, and I have a whole bunch of paper because I love doing some cricket crafting with paper. So then you can just pull the legs down, and they are adjustable. And you can either adjust those legs down so that you have a higher table like this. Sorry, I'm in the way. Or you can just pull this out and have a flat table like this. Now, I actually have some extension tables that attach on the side, but you've seen the rest of my studio, so I don't really need any more tables like that. So I have my Cricut in here, and I will bring you closer. So I have my Cricut machine in here because I do love Cricut crafts. And then you can see, let me flip this around. So now you can see that above the table here, we have these bins that were the same size as the ones in the dream cart. Now these are just paper inserts that I've made, so you can make paper inserts. Jennifer Maker has a shortcut on how to do those. Cut them out on your Cricut. And it's fun because it makes it a little more fancy and you don't see all the stuff that you have in your bins. Now over here I have tons of jelly rolls and I have scraps. So let me show you one of the things that I love about this. I showed you earlier, you're not in the right spot. I showed you earlier that I had bolts of fabric. So when I have scraps off of those bolts, I keep them in one of these bins. So that way, if I'm just needing a little piece, I'm not cutting a whole strip off of my bolts. So I keep those scraps of bolted fabric right in here, and that's super handy. I have these all loaded up with jelly rolls. That's where I'm storing all of these. I've got a bunch of zippers, and I just have all kinds of stuff. Let me just take you off the tripod. Make it just a little easier. Pardon me. So you can see here I have more jelly rolls and some other things that I'm keeping, some scissors, generic stuff, and these are pretty much all empty still, so I have a lot more to fill up. The other great thing is all of these little side compartments. They hold all kinds of things. You can see that one's full of little thread. An X-Acto knife. Like I said, I have not filled this dude up quite yet. Now over here on this side, this is all my crafting supplies. So anything I use for crafting, I kind of have over here. And then I have lots of vinyl down there for my Cricut. And of course, this side is a little bit more filled up. Here I have pipe cleaners and tapes, paints. I mean, this thing holds so much stuff, so much stuff. Now, keep in mind, these tables, same height as the sew station, same height as the dream box. Oh my gosh, I went blank. Same height as the dream cart. So you can interlock or, you know, put any of these together wherever you need. Now these do open up all the way, so I could basically take up this entire wall with just dream cart and I could work off of it. I haven't because I really like my cutting table, and this I can just button up super easy and put it away. I got the optional crown right up here, and this has a light in it which lights up your space quite nicely. Also, you can see you can get it with a power cord, and that is funny. I'm sorry, I was looking at my trash can. My trash can is funny. That's not funny. That's very handy. So, I just love this. Now, if you don't do Cricut and you're wondering what's the deal with that trash can, eyes notoriously get lost when you're cutting out vinyl, and you're always digging back through your vinyl looking for your eye because they're always so tiny. So that is the joke there. Now this also comes with some drawers. That might be an option. It has lots of options you can add on, and you can get a different configuration of the bins. But I love the bins, and it is kind of a lot to put together. You will need help, but in the end, it's so worth it. I love these little ribbon holders. Those are amazing. I have little hooks down here so that you can hang things with, and it's just really super. Guys, especially if you have a small space, this would be a great sewing sensor. You could put this in the corner of a living room or a bedroom, and then, I mean, you can pack a lot of stuff in here, like a lot. So this would be fabulous to have in a smaller space. Even though it's a little bit bigger footprint of an item, it's got so much potential, and it can hold so much that fabulous for quilters. Just wonderful. Hey there, I forgot about one item that I definitely wanted to tell you about that I really, really love. It's called the Quilt Keeper, and it's for displaying your quilts or taking your quilts or big comforters off of your bed at night, like if you don't want to sleep with them, they're just kind of more for decorations. This is an amazing product. So let me flip you around and show you. This is the door going into my studio, and I have hung it here so that I can display a quilt, and I just love it. So it is a small business. This lady designed and patented it herself. It's heavy metal, and so it is really nice and sturdy. It's not going to bend or anything on you. It's very actually kind of wide so that it holds quite a bit. Like I've had 3 or 4 quilts up here at one time. Now it gets a little fluffy out this way when I'm trying to walk by, but really, really neat. This I think would be fabulous for the end of a hallway if you want to display some quilts, kind of brighten up the space on the outside of a door, inside as well. It doesn't work on my house. I have a very small house and it doesn't really work. You need about 5 inches of space behind your door, and I don't have that in most of my rooms. So there it is. So my door is open most of the time. So I have a beautiful quilt that I get to walk by, and I just love this product. So this is called the Quilt Keeper. So be sure and support her. And this is also a great gift. So if you have quilty friends, be sure that you think about this. And if you're just curious, like this is how when you walk into my studio, you walk right by the design wall, and this is kind of what it's like. The bird's eye view, I guess, kind of. So I didn't tell you about my desk. My desk is just my daughter's childhood desk. Happened to be white, went in here perfectly. So I just repurposed it. And my big purchase I was going to mention that I am looking forward to is replacing this old dingy office chair. So I am waiting for Black Friday. I'm hoping the Aero hydraulic chairs go on sale. I definitely want one of those. Quincy bought one, my daughter, and she loves it. I did not think they look super comfortable. I sat in it and they're amazing. I love the lower back support. They have a low profile, so it's gonna look a lot prettier in my space. So let's just take a last look at this car because it's just so cute. Thanks.